On the regular page you can't, but on this one you can.
I'm Miriam Quagliato, and my business is the Gypsy Phoenix. And I travel from mostly from Arizona now to Idaho, and work at roadside markets and craft shows. So I get it nice and clean.
Look, you can see that Phoenix.
And I always have something on the back to hold on to it with. So sometimes my fire will blow out when I'm first trying to blow the humidity out of the line. Like that. You might want to shut off your video for a couple of seconds here as I gotta just blow. Okay, so as I start heating it with a high oxygen flame, you'll see it start turning all the colors that copper naturally turns. But I'm going to do it in slow-mo. Usually when people are soldering a copper pipe or something, they'll see these colors, but they happen so fast that they don't really recognize them. And they always come in the same order. So understanding that order allows us to choose what color we're going to use in the final flame painting. And I'm going to take it right past all of the colors. I'm going to chase the rainbow up to an ugly gray, because that's the very thickest, hottest layer of oxide I can get on the copper. There it is. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to work my way back down from hottest to coolest, and so I want to have all the colors built up on there. So I'm going to cool it in front of my fan down here, which isn't even on yet. And I only have to drop the temperature about 100 degrees, which takes, I don't know, 20 seconds or something. Drop that temperature down to where I can get the next cooler color. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to readjust my fire, because I used a high oxygen flame to create the colors, and I'm going to use a low oxygen flame and allow it to suck the oxide off in an area where I want my next cooler color. And at the edge of everywhere where I lay the flame, it's going to leave a line. So that line is what we use for drawing the patterns, and what I'm experimenting on using for even the faces and things down here. Use that line of humidity around the edge of the flame. And that's a totally different story, because it's experimental. No one else is trying it yet. And I'm trying to encourage people to work with copper flame painting in a more realistic manner and see how far we can push it.
This is interesting. So while you're doing that...
So there's my
changing
rays. It will change color because the temperature of the metal is rising as I continue to lay my flame on it, but I'm going for my hottest color, so I wasn't too concerned about it. So I'm going to adjust it to the hotter color that I want. I want it yellow with a bit of pink in it. There we go. Now let's cool it to stop the process.
So while it's cooling, tell me your name, your business, and how you got into it.
I'm Miriam Quagliato, and my business is the Gypsy Phoenix. And I travel from mostly from Arizona now to Idaho, and work at roadside markets and craft shows. And I also have the Etsy store. It's called the Gypsy Phoenix on Etsy. So.
And we have a link to that down in the doobly-doos below.
Okay, so now I'm clearing off the area where I want my next cooler color. See how that flame wants to just shoot out there straight. So that kind of limits what I can do, but I use the curve of the metal to try to help myself control the length of the flame stroke. Using the edge of the flame again to create lines. And now I want to bring up the temperature and the high oxygen flame and create the color that I want. I'm looking for blue this time for the sky, which is cooler than the yellow and pink. So this technique is called flame painting, and like I was telling you, there's just a handful of people in the world right now that are using it. It was invented about 35 years ago in Arizona, actually, I believe, by Skip Matthews. Okay. Well, you know what? There's a little purple still in here, and I want to get rid of that. blues. The reason is that first purple will always come out as brown whenever you seal it in the polymer clear coat, which you have to do to keep it from fading away. So I'll push it past the purple. There we go. Pull it off again.
And how long have you been doing this?
About 7 years.
About 7 years?
Yeah. I used to paint with a paintbrush, and when I took up the torch about 7 years ago, I was so enamored with it, I literally did it like 12 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was doing it at the Ozark Folk Center, and I was also doing it at home. Okay, so let's do my lotus. I like to do a little lotus in the sunset here. And once again, I'm using the lines at the edge of the flame to define my flower.
I apologize if I keep falling out of frame every now and then. I'm so entranced on how this is being happening that...
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to watch it through the camera.
Yeah, it is. But I know that I've got most of it there, and this is going to be awesome.
Anyway, yeah, so that's it. And then I have to seal it in polymer when it's done to keep it from fading back to a copper brown. And anyway, hope you enjoyed watching. Hope you thought it was worth waiting for me to get all the stuff hooked up.
Oh, no, it was,
is amazing.
it was awesome. And there'll be a link below for anybody that's interested in checking out more of her stuff, the Etsy page and also her Facebook page. So
Thanks for watching. I have a giveaway going on Facebook right now, and it'll be a hummingbird to hang on the wall. And all I ask you to do is share the post that shows it, and I'll put your name in a drawing at the end of the month. I appreciate it. Thanks.
all right, we're going to continue looking. We're going to continue walking around this flea market and having some fun here in Cascade, Idaho.